Does your toilet not refill, not shut off, or sound like a missile cruising right towards you like this one? But we're going to fix that. Stick around until the end because I'll show you how in real time I change out this toilet valve in 34 seconds because it's Fluidmaster brand. That's one of the reasons I won't buy anything else. Step 1, shut off the water to the toilet. Step 2, remove all the water from the toilet tank. After it flushes, continue to hold down the handle for a few seconds to let all the water down. Next, get a towel or a sponge and remove the excess water in the bottom couple inches. You don't have to do this step, but I find it's a lot faster and a lot cleaner than making a water mess in the next step. Nor does it require a bucket. If you're a little hesitant to do this yourself, I would urge you to just give it a try. It's one of the most easy things you can do, and it'll save you a lot of money. Next, unscrew your supply line. You may need some channel locks or pliers for this. This is where it saves you getting all the water out, as you would have about a quart of water coming out if you didn't remove it from the tank. Next, take off this little plastic nut so you could remove the toilet valve. And it just slides on out of there. Now it's time to remove this little plastic hose. That's your toilet bowl fill hose. Now is the best time to make adjustments on your toilet valve. To adjust it is simple. Simply hold on to the top and screw it in to make it shorter, or screw it out to make it longer. There's two things to consider here. The first is be careful how high you adjust it. You don't want this blue part being hit by the toilet tank lid when you put it on. The second thing is you want the bottom of this little float to be 1 inch below this tube. Just eyeball where the lid's going to go to make sure it's not too high, and don't worry too much, you can make micro adjustments later. These little nuts have a little flange on the edge, so just make sure that butts up tight to the toilet tank. Because there's a rubber seal on the other side of this, you only need to do it hand tight. Plus it's all plastic, so you never want to over tighten it. I never put a wrench on it, but you could do an 1/8 or a 1/4 turn with a wrench. Before you put your supply line on, just make sure that little rubber gasket isn't all damaged. Again, because there's a rubber seal in your supply line, you don't need to get it over tight. Hand tight is perfectly fine if you could get a good grip on it, and if not, use some pliers and do a 1/4 turn. Next, we need to adjust the length of this hose. This hose is where the water goes to fill the tank bowl that you see in the toilet. It's got a little barb in there, so it may be kind of hard to get out, but just give it a good yank. It's okay to cut it a little long, it won't hurt anything. You definitely just don't want to cut it too short. After this, you're ready to turn the water back on. So just a quick lesson in how this works. As that black float raises with the water level, it shuts off a little valve under this blue cap. You can see here that the water level is still too high. So this is when you just screw down this micro adjustment and it'll push the float down so that it'll shut off faster. You'll see here that I'll need to flush it again and adjust it just a little bit lower. As this starts to fill, you can see that this model is really nice because you can adjust how much water goes into the bowl. This matters because technically you could have more water in the bowl and less in the tank and save some water if you adjust it right. You want the water level to be about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch below the top of this pipe. No editing, no nothing. I'm going to replace this in 34 seconds.
Shut the water off.
3, 2, 1, go.
Just go like this. Pull the collar off. Do the old switcheroo. Hardest part, getting the collar one-handed.
If you want to know how to do this, I'll have a short video on the steps to do this coming out real
This
soon.
baby back on.
I'll have a link in the description below. And as always, if you've liked this video, if you could just like it, that'd really help me out. And consider subscribing. Bam, now the water is ready to go back on. That's how easy it could be if you have Fluidmaster. And yes, I put my little hose backwards, so sue me. If you've enjoyed this video, I bet you'll like my 2-minute tutorial playlist, which is on the left, where you'll learn how to do something in about 2 minutes. Thanks for watching.